So I'm here now with Brent Zaradnik from AMZ Pathfinder. Thanks for joining us, Brent.
Yeah, no problem.
So today we want to talk about ad eligibility for Amazon PPC, and there's a lot of different reasons why ads will be showing in your PPC campaigns or not showing. Let's talk a little bit about ad eligibility and some of the reasons why your ads may not be eligible to show for sponsored product ads.
So there's a small distinction to make here. You can have ads that are marked as ineligible, or you can have ads that are actually paused or turned off. So ineligible means you're not able to advertise for those products. Like you can't even start it. Paused or turned off would be, they're running, but then something prevents them from running into the future. So a reason it might be terminated or paused, you could have inventory stock out, like you lose the buy box because of no more inventory, which is sometimes a good problem to have, but in the frame of ads here, it's a bad problem to have.
Yeah.
We have losing the buy box to a competitor, or maybe like a hijacker on your listing. So anything that causes you to lose the buy box. Another one that's a little bit less common would be billing issues. So say your credit card's ineligible, and they can't run anymore.
Right.
For sponsored product and different AMS ad types, on the flip side of that, you might have a problem where the budget for the campaign is too low and it's preventing your ads from running there too. Like it'll stop at 7 o'clock at night, and then you won't get impressions when people are home searching for work,
Right.
that kind of thing.
And that's because, so you'll set a budget for the day, let's say it's $20 for the day, and you run out at 7 o'clock at night, so the ads will just not be showing for that whole period from 7 till 12.
Right. Yeah, that happens sometimes. Amazon's system has a bit of a delay, though. It won't always tell you exactly when the budget's run out. So you may receive an email that actually says, your budget has hit the ceiling, but you might log into your account manager and not see that actually in effect.
So how would you, looking through your campaigns, how would you be able to identify that that's a reason why your ads aren't running?
Well, typically there's an error message that will show up alongside of a campaign or alongside of a specific keyword that will detail what the problem is. And typically those are pretty clear. It's like, okay, your budget's out, you don't have the buy box. We paused this because we didn't think it was relevant. Enough people saw it and no one clicked. So usually it's pretty clear.
You recently uncovered a pretty strange reason why ads weren't showing for one of our vendor clients at Bobsled Marketing.
Yeah.
So can you tell us about that?
Yeah, so AMS campaigns, this particular client had entered a vendor relationship with Amazon, as a handful of bobsled clients have. And campaigns and individual ads in this client's account were getting paused or terminated in Amazon's terminology, which means the campaign itself totally ends, with a financial threshold message. And this was actually a total mystery to me. I had never seen this before. But what happens is the campaign or ad stops. You receive an automated email from Amazon that just says AMS campaigns are paused due to retail policy, and it details which ASINs they paused, and it says they don't meet the financial threshold. And you're kind of left scratching your head. Yeah, what's the financial threshold? Please tell us.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a real lack of official documentation on Amazon's end here, so we were kind of left speculating at first. Like any other seller that has access to AMS, this client has basically sold their products to Amazon, right? They're being purchased by Amazon.
Yep.
Amazon exerts a great deal of control over all aspects of the listing, including price, right?
Yep.
So there were price changes that were occurring on this listing that brought the sale price down so low that it no longer met Amazon's own internal mystery metric for profit margin. That's not something we're allowed to see or allowed to even, really understand. So they have a certain margin they would like to make. Amazon looks at other retailers online, and they'll see where the prices are, and they want to maintain, being competitive, because Amazon famously is competitive with price. So this profit margin was preventing us from advertising, regardless of what our client's desire was, and even how profitable the ads were, because they were actually doing, quite well.
Yeah, that's really interesting. So with the vendor program, as you said, Amazon controls the price of those SKUs, and as a brand, you really have very little control over what Amazon is selling your products for, even with things like a minimum advertised price policy in place, which is fairly common in the retail world. So, but Amazon is pretty famous for looking around to see what the lowest price is online and taking into account all subsidies and discounts from other retailers. So they'll basically match or beat any price online. Amazon's purchased these products at a certain price and they've discounted them through most likely through a machine-based algorithm, and then they have some kind of fail-safe in their algorithm to say, okay, if the price is at this point, then we're not making any money on this sale, so we're going to stop all the ads so that we don't continue to lose our shirts.
And Amazon's famous for ignoring map, right? So
Yep.
they're not going to care about what your map is.
Yep.
And this also explains another weird quirk of this issue, Kiri, in that the eligibility for these items would flip on and off.
Huh.
And it didn't occur to me until later that the reason they were becoming eligible and then re-eligible, like the campaigns would resume, is because Amazon's pricing was changing, and it was adapting to whatever it saw in the market, and it was changing. So the end result, though, is that profit margins from the advertiser's perspective are not aligned with those thresholds set by Amazon. So a product might be paused even though it's doing quite well. And it's kind of a scenario where Amazon and the vendor are working at like cross purposes. I think one step sellers can take is making sure their agreements with other online retailers are airtight, so they're not having prices that are driven down, and then Amazon will see those prices and react. I think that's probably a big step. And another thing that Amazon actually recommends after we did some follow-up with them is promoting multiple SKUs or ASINs within a single campaign. This might not be optimal from an account structure point of view, but it is a way to kind of mitigate the risk, because if you have a campaign with only one product and that product is then paused, that campaign is terminated.
Right.
So this is a problem we ran into a couple times with this account.
And so it's not just paused, it's actually terminated and closed?
Yeah, they terminated. I can think of at least 3 or 4 examples where they terminated a campaign, not the account, just a single campaign that had like one product.
Yep.
And you're not able to revive it at that point. It's basically dead.
Wow. Wow. So a lot of quirks. Well, thank you for sharing your insight on the ad eligibility puzzle.
Yeah, certainly. It's been fun explaining it because it was quite an adventure learning what it was.
They keep us on our toes.